it's Betsy, and today we have a fun video. We're going to be testing out the new Fade Into the Hue palette by Colourpop. Okay, so as you can see, this is the outer packaging. This is the unit carton it came in. It does have all of the shade names on back, and it does say that it is cruelty free. Now, I don't think that this has an expiration date on here, but it does retail for $34. Now, I purchased this whenever they had their big sale for Christmas, so it was 30% off. I also bought the State of Play Vault, which is their pastel palettes, and I only purchased this to get the Cloud Spun and the blue palette too, on Cloud Blue. So the other 4 palettes that are in here are going to be included, 2 of them in a giveaway for me and 2 of them in a giveaway for Nadia. But I did go ahead and pull out all of my 9-pan Colourpop palettes because I own all of them except for, I think they did a brown sugar one with Karucha Chan, which I don't own, and then they had the Soul and Mar palettes, which weren't like their single colors, and I had one of them and I think it was the Mar palette. I may have had both of them and decluttered them. So I figured I would pull these out to kind of see some comparisons, because the Fade Into the Hue palette is kind of your basic everyday rainbow. I mean, there are 30 shades in here, and this is what she looks like. And I wanted to see, because, you know, for some of y'all may already own some of these 9-pan palettes like I do, and we need to see if it's different enough to say you want to purchase it or not. These are my Christmas Disney ears, so we're gonna go ahead and put those on because my hair is driving me nuts. So first up, as you can see, I keep them in rainbow order, is the Honey palette, which looks like this. So I can go ahead and say that the pressed glitter for sure in both of them's different. Now, the shade Sweet Spot looks to be pretty close. Nope, Abstract is brighter. Okay, so Sweet Spot didn't. Okay, so this is Abstract next to Sweet Spot. So that is pretty big difference. Let's see if this is bonus points from the Fade Into the Hue, and we're gonna test it next to Oh Behave. Okay. So far, the pigmentation looks to be better in the Fade Into the Hue palette. So this is Shine Bright from Fade Into the Hue. And then this is Dandy from... Okay, so those are pretty close. I mean, I don't think you need both of them. So if you do have the Honey palette, the yellow row, I mean, yellows kind of go on one way or the other. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something you have to have a bunch of colors for. Yellow to me is a very mid-tone color, so you can't get super duper deep with it. I mean, as you can see, whenever you're looking at the yellow row in here, there's not a deepening up shade. There's not really much you can do with it. So, I mean, as I said, this is just your basic rainbow palette, but I wanted to kind of look and see. This is the Aura and Out palette. So, trying to look and see if there's anything similar. Not really. I'm gonna have to turn these over so I can keep them in order, because I am very weird about keeping my colors together. Then we have the Meant to Be. I don't think that this is going to have anything similar. Nope. Okay, then we've got the Just My Luck. And this is where there might be some similar. So we've got Bold Type, which is a true Kelly, and then we have Act Natural. Nope, those are different. Okay, so that is different. And I really don't see a whole lot of overlap there either. Okay, so that's good. On Cloud Blue, this is the new one. I haven't even really opened her up yet. Okay, so that's what she looks like. So let's see, Take It Easel and Ice Baby are pretty close. The 9 pans are just not swatching as well as they used to. Maybe it's me. Okay. But the blue glitter kaleidoscope that's in here, I don't think is similar to the glitter that's in here is definitely different. Now remember, these do have pressed glitters. This has 3 pressed glitters, 4 pressed glitters in here compared to, okay, then we got Blue Moon, and I think Iconic. This is from the Fade into the Hue. And Fine China, yeah, those are pretty similar. This is Fine China, and this is Iconic. So the colors from the Fade into the Hue are swatching better. I will definitely say that. Then we've got In a Trance. This isn't a single color. This is one of their tie-dye ones. So, I mean, I think, honestly, if you're like me and own all of the, like these 9 pans, you don't need the Fade into the Hue. Like, I can sit here and compare all day, but if you own all of these, you really just don't need them all. I mean, you don't. So we're gonna start off by swatching everything out, and then we're gonna do a look, because if not, I'm gonna sit here all day trying to compare. And I think with the color scheme that's in it, okay, so this is Fantasyland, Lovecraft, Prismatic, that's a pressed glitter, that's pretty. Altier, I like that color. And Paradise, that's a really pretty red. So we have Fantasyland, Lovecraft, Prismatic, Altier, and Paradise. See, that is like a strawberry red. So I think it will definitely pull more pink. So that is the pinky red row. So wipe away our swatches. So many colors. I think I'm gonna just do each row by row. Okay, then we have Treasure. Then there's another pressed glitter, which is So Precious. Art Deco. Retro Dream. And Love Warhol. I do like this row. I like that they mixed oranges and corals. It's not like your straight up orange row. So there's Treasure. So Precious. Art Deco, Retro Dream, Love and Warhol. But I think, again, you're gonna get some overlap with these, with like the Love and Warhol and Retro Dream. I think they're very similar shades in the Sweet Talk palette. Okay, then we got Lucky Charm, which is a pressed glitter in the yellow row. Big Smile. Shine Bright, Bonus Points, Abstract. Lucky Charm, Big Smile, Shine Bright, Bonus Points, Abstract. Okay, so one thing I will say that I do enjoy about this is, even though I do love a good monochromatic palette, I like that you get everything kind of all in one. But do you need a bunch of different rainbow palettes? No, if you've got one, you pretty much have what you need. Then we've got Designer from the green row. I really like that shade. Pose, Dyed Up, hot, and bold type. So, designer, pose, dyed up, hot, bold type. Okay, 2 more rows. And I think we're just gonna do a simple green look because there's no way I'm gonna use all the colors in here. I just wanna kind of test the quality and to see kind of how it compares. So we've got Take It Easel, Kaleidoscope. I really like that glitter. I don't mind Colourpop's pressed glitter formula. This is Hot Copic, Watermark, Ironic, Take It Easel, Kaleidoscope, Hot Copic, Watermark, and Ironic. There we go. I really like that shade Watermark. That is a really pretty cerulean blue. Okay, wipe away those swatches. I am like literally covered in glitter, but I don't mind being covered in glitter. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but you know, take and cover me in everything sparkly. This is Express. It's a pretty crumbly shade. Selfie, Majestic, Novu, and Zeitgeist. Express, that's, as you can see, that's pretty crumbly. Selfie, Majestic, Novu, and Zeitgeist. Okay, so it looks like all the purples that are in there are definitely more blue tone leaning, which is fine. And one thing I will definitely say about the palette for sure, I mean, it's pretty, to me, it's like a little bit of a mixture of both the primary from the 9 pans plus a little bit of the pastels. So let's play. I would definitely want to do, I think I just want to do a simple green eye look. Y'all know green is my color, and that's kind of what I'm wanting to do today. It's Christmas time. I feel like I can get away with wearing a lot of green at Christmas. I don't know how y'all are, but... And if there's greens, y'all know I'm gonna test it because I'm a connoisseur. I'm a connoisseur of greens. Okay, let's kind of tap out our primer. I am using the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base in the shade Medium. So I think what I'm gonna go into first is the shade Designer, which is a sequin shade, but it is a good limey green. I feel like I'm off on my eye tapes being even. That's better. So we're just gonna start by popping this on and building it up. That really didn't want to do anything, did it? I could try to do the same look on the other side with the other palettes, but I really don't feel like it. And honestly, next year for Colourpop, even though I've always bought so much from them, I think I'm going to go on a Colourpop no buy. Except if there is Disney, because I collect the Disney, or a collab with a creator that I just can't live without. Unless they come up with something super dramatic that hasn't been done a billion times before by them. And that's part of the problem is, you know, whenever you're talking about like Colourpop and stuff like that, is they've gotten to the point where they're duping themselves. And how many Colourpop palettes were released in 2020? I mean, I don't even want to count. And it's not that I mind it, Colourpop is inexpensive, but for one thing, especially for doing this for YouTube, you know what I mean? Like, I love reviewing palettes, but Colourpop takes so long to get stuff in that hinders being able to do a review, because by the time you get in a palette to do a review over, they've come out with what? 2, 3, 5 more. So I guess my bubble has burst a little bit with Colourpop is what I'm trying to say. It's not that I'm still not fascinated by the brand. It's just, I don't know how much I'm going to put into the brand. So now I'm going into the shade Dyed Up, which is a little bit deeper of a green. So to me, the designer shade, even though it's sequin shade, was definitely more of, what is the green? It starts with a C. I cannot think of what you call it. Chartreuse. And to me, Dyed Up is a spring green. And see, that's another thing about it. Like this palette, Fade Into the Hue, I don't know if it was originally meant to come out at Christmas time, but part of the thing with it is this color scheme to me screams spring, because all of the shades that are in this rainbow palette are lacking some depth. And I saw that on right before I went to film this on Instagram, Makeup Just for Fun posted that she had gotten the new wine palette, which matches the 9 pans. I don't know if I'll pick that up or not, because it's not 2021 yet. And that's where I'm gonna have issues, is because those are the types of things that I do collect. But I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up. And if I do, you know, are they gonna start coming out with like the jewel tones in these? If so, that actually kind of excites me to see. And I'm going into this shade Bold Type. I mean, the shadows are performing great. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know. Do y'all know what I mean? Like, it's kind of gotten to the point where it's a little bit makeup overload with Colourpop. Now, I'm pretty sure I have all the wine shades that they have in the new palette in like the whatever palette. But I always get sucked in by the monochromatic palettes. I don't know why. I love a good monochromatic look. Okay, so these are performing beautifully. I have no complaints about performance. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna go off camera and I'm gonna grab a different shimmer, because there are literally these 2 shimmers and neither one of them light my fire for this look. I want something. I just got in my Lit Pressed Glitter palette, and I think there's a green in there that will go well with this look. So give me a minute and we'll come back and put that on. So I'm back and I have my Lit Night Moves, and I think I want to use, I'm not sure. These are all pressed glitters, and I ordered this because Mascara Masquerade had posted about it on Instagram. And Lit has some of my favorite, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Get Lucky. Has some of my favorite not pressed glitters, because this is the first time I've tried their pressed glitters. They have some of my favorite loose glitters. So I was like, yay, we shall try this. And I like that it, even though it is a pressed glitter palette, or it has pressed glitters, I do like that everything is kind of all in one. Because like as I've said before, you know, some people have issues with pressed glitters, and I completely understand. They're extremely dangerous for your eyes, all that kind of stuff. But I like to have stuff like this in a separate palette. I think it makes it a whole lot easier to work with. So first thing we're gonna do is put down some Too Faced glitter glue, which is something I do with all of my shimmers and stuff. So this ain't anything new or unusual. So we're gonna put this down, because you see what I'm saying? Like, I wish they would have stuck with to be able to create like monochromatic looks. Colourpop, their shimmer formula is not always my favorite, so I wish they would have added something a little pizzazzier. Okay, so this is the shade Get Lucky. So we're just gonna take and pick that up. This is a Colourpop, what is this? E4. And just pat that all over where I applied the glitter glue. That's pretty. Isn't that pretty? That definitely gave, and that again, like, to me, festive season, it's Christmas time. Now, I know we cannot travel, or I'm not going to, you know, we're being good and staying home and doing what we're supposed to, waiting our turn to be able to get the vaccine and then hopefully get back to normal, but it's festive season. Like, I feel like it's festive season. Pressed glitters, this is the time of year for pressed glitters and like all the glitz. And if you're going to do a rainbow palette at Christmas time, okay, so now I'm just going back in that BK Beauty 201. I don't even know if I told y'all what brushes I used, which was the 201 and the 202, I think. Okay, that looks pretty. Okay, I'm gonna take my 202 again and go back into bold type. Now, I don't know if you see that, but there is some patchiness, which I'm not used to from Colourpop. I'm gonna see if I can kind of pack it on, but it's not on that eye. So I don't want to say it's Colourpop's fault if it's not on both eyes, but just be aware I have a little bit of patchiness, because I'm going to tell you what I see and what I don't. Okay, make sure everything's blended. Okay, now we're gonna take off the eye tapes. Ooh, nice and pretty and sparkly. So I'm gonna go off camera, do the rest of my face. We'll come back and do the lower lash line and talk about my thoughts on the Fade into the Hue palette. Back with the rest of my face on. As you can see, I've got the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer in medium 2. I used the Patrick Ta She's So LA blush. I really like this, and I would use this every single day if I could, but you know, sometimes you don't want to wear the same blush every day, but there's something about it that makes it feel like my skin looks really healthy with it. And then for highlight, I am wearing the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Superstar Glow Highlighter. Okay, so I know this video is kind of all over the place today, so I'm gonna grab the BK Beauty 205. Oh, and on lips, I'm using Melt, their liquid lipstick infused, and then I used the Aura Lip Gloss by Lunar Beauty. But I think part of the thing is I'm just taking bold type, which is that Kelly Green, the deepest shade, and using that underneath my lower lash line. But I think part of the problem is I'm just, like, I'm filming with these Colourpop shadows, but I'm just not feeling Colourpop. Maybe it's because I'm kind of, like, over the amount of releases. I'm not exactly sure, but I do know that it has just gotten to be too much. And like, I am a consumer. I am a red-blooded American who wants to buy it all. I mean, I'll be the first person to admit that. But maybe it's just because of the amount of stuff that Colourpop has released that it is, as I said, it's kind of turned me off. I'm taking the shade Dress, or Dyed Up, which is the more of the springy green color. There we go. And filling this in, hold on a second. Okie dokie, so I'm just kind of going back and forth and blending. Sorry for that weird interruption. I had a phone call from one of my vinyl suppliers, so I needed to answer it. And while I was on the phone, I was like, just keep blending, just keep blending. So we're just kind of blending this all together. I think the look is pretty. Don't get me wrong. I really do think that this look is really, really pretty. The problem lies with not the look, but the overabundance of stuff from Colourpop. So I'm taking the shade Pose and applying that to my inner corner. Oh, that's pretty as an inner corner. Like, it makes it, because I do like to be loyal to brands, and it's made it where it's a little bit overwhelming to even try to stay loyal to Colourpop, if that makes sense. Like, it's too much, you know. And when you're talking about, let's see, collections every week, and if you want to buy all the pieces from it, because typically they have more than just the eyeshadow palette, it's about $100. Nobody can afford to spend $100 a week on Colourpop. I mean, some people can, but as I said, it's just gotten to be a little bit too much. Okay, so this is the completed look. It's so pretty. Now, I think the quality of the Fade into the Hue palette is good. I don't see anything wrong with the look that I created. I'm happy though that I did use the Night Moves glitter palette in Just My Luck, I think is the color of the green glitter, to add some oomph to this look. But again, my main issue with the whole thing is it's too much. Tell me why, whenever they're still working on their monochromatic palettes, why they released a glitter palette that has pretty much a lot of the same shades that were already out. That is my issue. Again, this will probably keep me off of Colourpop's PR list, but it is what it is. I have no issue buying the makeup that I want to buy, but I also don't want, it just always be a cash grab. And I think that's what's bothering me about it the most, is so much of Colourpop has become a cash grab, or at least in my opinion. Like, it's just an overabundance, fast fashion for makeup, and I don't like the idea of it. Now, I have an overabundance of makeup. I like reviewing it. But on the same hand, I can't sit there in good conscience and be like, hey, I just bought this Colourpop palette. It's good. You should buy it. But tomorrow there's going to be another one. Does that make sense? So my whole thought on a lot of this is Colourpop and I are going to take a break for a while, and we're going to see if they actually slow down on production. Because until they do, I am in good conscience, there probably won't be any Colourpop reviews unless it's Disney or a collab with an influencer, because I just can't. So I'm sorry if that depresses y'all, but I guess that's it. So we'll see y'all later. Bye.